Hello and welcome. Well, it's already busy. I'm not surprised. These moulds are absolutely gorgeous. We are talking, of course, Zuri. Because we've got Zuri moulds, we have, as ever, our wonderful Kathryn. And she's really beavering away over there, aren't you,
I've got
Kathryn?
my clay ready.
You've got clay, you've got resin, you've got a host of molds. I mean, Zuri are such an incredible company. I think, I mean, it's been amazing because an amazing success story because they're relatively new. But oh my gosh, they have just been bang. They've set off running, haven't they?
They have. If I can say a very good evening. Here it's evening, of course, in the UK. But Sophie and Mike, if you're watching, they're the couple behind Zuri, of course. Yeah. This all began, I believe, in Sophie's bedroom.
Wow.
Because her love for polymer clay, particularly, and resins.
Yeah.
And then just wasn't able to find the moulds that she really, really wanted. And this is where it all began. And I've got to say, I have never, ever seen moulds with the detail that you get with Zuri. Yeah. And it's not just about the detail, it's about the quality as well.
I mean, they are stunning. Yeah, because they can go, obviously, I forgot the temperatures already, but it's a high 260, did you say?
About 240 degrees centigrade,
wow, okay.
heat-wise, so you can put them in the oven. They are food grade, and they're a high food grade quality as well. There are different levels for certificates. You can put these into the freezer as well. We did actually make an ice cube from the flamingo last time, which was amazing. I've got to say, do you know, every time we've done a show for Zuri, I've thought, do you know, I think my favourite mould is in this show. It's hard to choose a favourite.
Every single time.
But I do think this is my favourite today.
You can have that.
I think
you can have a favourite. It's the rules.
Yeah.
We better show because how much at stock has gone?
No.
Of the one-day special. Okay, let me show you these moulds because they are absolutely beautiful. You're getting all three. If you want them individual, you can get them at the bottom of the screen there, but you're saving £10. Right, okay. I mean, this one straight away, look at that. That is sensational. Isn't that so beautiful? It's like you say, the detail. I mean, the 3D element. Look at the leg at the back. You know, the detail is phenomenal.
It is incredible.
So beautiful.
Oh,
that
it really
is beautiful.
You can see every muscle in Pegasus there. And I've got to say this now before I get too far. I've got to say a big, big thank you to Sylvia Allen because Sylvia's done all of the samples that we can see on the counter here. She's worked so hard. But not taking anything away from Sylvia, I'm going to say when it comes to Pegasus there, that is such a simple effect. Everybody can achieve that. It looks as though you spent hours and hours and hours creating that, but the work is down to the mould, a simple paint technique, and you recognise the paper there as well.
Oh, of course, clarity.
It's doesn't that work well?
Yeah, that is absolutely spot on. Tell you what else these will go with. We've just done the encaustic. These will go with the encaustic. Amazing.
Yes, they will.
Oh, they will.
They definitely will.
An encaustic background on that would look phenomenal. Okay, so you're getting Pegasus. You've also got the beautiful Seahorses. I mean, Seahorses are magic. You know, they are just, these are really magic and they're real, but they don't look like they should be real. They just mess with your head. These are phenomenal. And what's beautiful about this mould, if you just take a look at the mould underneath there, you can see the actual mould. Can you see? You've actually got them already linked together, but then you've got the two little babies as well. This is absolutely flying. How much did you just say, Katie? 40%. We've literally just launched. 40% of the stock has gone. If you want it, you have to check your baskets out. We are 4 minutes in. Is this the busiest it's been so far?
It's just fine. I'm lost for words. What can I say? What can I say? There are people that have been waiting for particular moulds because when it comes to Zuri, Sophie and Mike from America, and there is a Facebook page, and you get to see in advance what is going to be released. You get sneaky peeks. So we know what's coming to the UK, and that's something important because these are not available anywhere else in the UK.
Wow.
There is only Hochanda that have these here at Hochanda.
Wow, that's so special, isn't it? And we are £10 off. You know, that is so phenomenal. Okay, as well in this collection. And do you know what? I have to tell you, all the finished samples were face down because of the spider for poor Janice. It has been quite funny. You've come in and it's like everything's been face down. On that one, you've got that amazing spider. I mean, look at the detail in that body. It's beautiful. And then, of course, you've got the fabulous bee there as well. Again, the detail. Have a look at that when it's done. Doesn't that just look gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Good grief, it is so busy, folks. Okay, this is your one-day special, only £50, £49.97. You're saving £10. You've got a flexi on that one as well. 2 payments of £24.99. Right, the castle is it's going to sell out. 70% of the stock has gone, and this has been busy. Can I show you this? Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? Again, those backgrounds that you can create with the encaustic. Imagine that on those backgrounds. That is just, that is
Isn't that
phenomenal.
fabulous?
I actually think, you know, and I didn't think it would be my favourite, but I think the castle's my favourite.
Do you know, I think it's so versatile as well, because with the castle, you do get the little flying dragons with it as well, that you've just seen in the first sample there. They are included, but that could be the emerald. The Emerald Castle, it could be an ice castle, it could be a magical castle, it could be a castle full of dragons and something like that TV show that we see.
Well, it's either
it could
Lord
be whatever
of the
you want
Rings.
it to be.
It's either, you know, Doodah, what's it? I've actually forgotten the name. Any castle you want it. Yeah, Game of Thrones. Any of the castles, especially like, it is limited stock. It is literally going to sell out any minute. That is limited stock. Yeah, that is beautiful. It's sold out.
You are kidding.
First sellout, 6 minutes.
That's my first demo gone then. That's that gone. Oh no.
My first sellout. We have got the Ornate Gate. Now the Ornate Gate, again, this is beautiful. 2/3 of the stock has gone with the Ornate Gate. I mean, again, this is absolutely flying. The beautiful thing with this, again, is that could be anything. Now, again, this goes with everything that we've got on the counter. But that one, you could make really gothic, because I think it looks really gothic there. But that you could make into wedding gates, you could put with anything. That could be very Christmassy as well when painted differently, couldn't it?
Do you know, I was actually going to turn the castle into a winter scene with the gates, and I can't use the castle now, but maybe we'll get to use the gates. But something else here as well. I mean, look what Sylvia's done there. You can cut into...
Phenomenal.
It is crazy, isn't it? Cut into those gates, but also think about separating it as well. You don't need to use the whole gate. So it could be a door. It could just be an arched door if you don't use the whole of the mould. Also, above that door, you've got a crown there as well, which is very ornate. So look at how you can split this down. Don't just see a gate. See all of the possibilities.
Absolutely. I mean, the arch itself would be absolutely divine. And that one, it's like the secret garden, isn't it? I mean, there's so many things. As soon as you see it, there's so many things. Let me just, move the packaging so you can see. I mean, I love just looking at the moulds. I mean, the moulds itself look phenomenal. If you've never bought a Zuri mould, you're going to have to be quick. If you've never bought a Zuri mould, they are lovely quality. As Kathryn said, you know, obviously heat, you know, you can pop them in the oven, you can pop them in the freezer. They are high food grade, they are flexible, so it's going to be easy to get the actual products out that you're using. I mean, imagine that in chocolate, you know, or icing or something on an actual cake. Imagine that on a cake.
I know. You've got to think about the cakes. You have got to think about the cakes, but also what is coming up. I know it's difficult. Again, we've just had new restrictions put on us again today. But Halloween, that gate is a Halloween gate. You know, you've got other things at home. Yeah, with the castle. If the castle was still available, I think that one went. We've got the spider and the flying, the one-day special as well. Think about, what about if you've got children at home and you want to make Halloween special or just a little birthday party or something, and they don't mind the creepy crawlies, making jelly spiders.
Oh my word.
Jelly spiders, pop them into a bowl and then put another colour of jelly on the top. Some sweets in there, some wiggly worms and things.
Oh, you could do so much.
You can have so much fun.
That is well good.
What about soap? And wax.
Soap spiders.
Soap spiders, wax spiders. Make a spider with soap. If you've got a mould for a block of soap, you can put the spider into the block mould and then put more soap in so it's encased into the soap as well.
That would be fabulous. I mean, this is the thing with resin, isn't it? If you're doing resin, you could cast that and then put it in a clear one for like paperweights and stuff.
Paperweights,
and obviously
coasters.
You'd be able to sort of mould it. Oh my gosh, there's so much you can do. It is ridiculously busy. It's like, playtime. Right, this is flying. 80% of the stock has gone. You have to check your basket out. There are queues on the phones. Please get on the website. It is hochanda.com. If you've got photos of any of the gorgeous moulds that you've already had, we would love, love, love to see what you've been creating. If you do want that one before it sells out, 098616. Now, there are a lot more on the website. We have got the moulds that have been on before, but you might not have seen these. Tell you what, we have got that dragonfly, and that one was a giveaway before, so this is the first time you've actually been able to purchase this one, and I bet you any money that's going to fly out the door as well. Remember, it is our Flex Extravaganza. Woo, I did it. It's over £5. So even if you were only buying that, you'll be able to get a flexi on it. I doubt you'll only be buying that, I'm not going to lie. But that is beautiful. 945440 is your item number. Okay, ridiculously busy. 60% of the one-day special has gone. It has launched 10 minutes ago. 60% has gone. I am not surprised in the slightest.
Well, neither am I, but I am starting to panic and think, what am I going to do in demo? Good job I asked for Viva Decor to come on the show as well. We may have to rely on that.
And we've got all those beautiful moulds that have been on before.
We have.
That's the thing with these. They'll not go out of fashion, and they all work together so well, don't they?
Definitely. This is the thing about Zuri, actually. If you've collected from the beginning, even if you haven't gone for everything, I've seen hints of what's coming in the future as well. I think it's going to be very special next month as well. Something a little bit different as well. But you can see, although there's not a planned pattern as such, you can see where the moulds start to build together and you can start to scene build. So do keep an eye out. Think about what you've already got and do keep an eye out, because we don't expect everybody to buy everyone. I know there are some people that have done, but, you know, not everybody's got endless pockets, and it can be, you know, a little bit tough at times. But definitely look at what you've got and think about what you can buy to go with the ones you've already got. And think out of the box always. Always. Okay, right. Now, I've got so much to fit in, or I did have. That's what I'd got planned. Normally I start with the air dry clay. I am doing this time, but I've already put some into a mould because it can take quite a while to get all the clay into the mould. We'll be doing this process again throughout the shows, yesterday as well. I will tell you that when it comes to the clay, the hearty clay is the one we've got on the show again. Always a really, really good buy. Now, we've got different mediums on the show, and there is a place for absolutely everything. So if you want to put these casts onto your cards, onto your projects, and you want them lightweight, heart is the way to go. It picks up incredible detail.
Because even you can shape thing like that, you could put on card, couldn't you?
You certainly could, because it is so, so lightweight. And of course, you can decorate in so many different ways. You can pre-colour, we have the colour clays, but using your mediums on top of the clay works incredibly well as well. When it comes to something that you want a little bit more robust, then you're looking at maybe the air dry polymer clay, the Medina clay, which I believe we've got on again this time. We do have that on. That will go outside. It's water resistant, weatherproof. Really? Amazing,
I don't think I've used that one yet.
Yeah, it's very, very different to working with the air dry clay, very different, and sometimes you have to let the clay dry in the mould, but yes, you can manipulate it and it's weatherproof.
That's really interesting.
Then we have the resins. Now, we don't have the A1 resin on today because we've got a show coming up on the 5th of October which is going to be dedicated to A1, but if you've got that, another wonderful resin that I absolutely adore. When it comes to the clear resin, and I will be using this hour, we've had this on for the last 2 one-day specials. These are available in different sizes. So if you've never used this before, you don't have to go for the big, bulky one. Try it. But those that have tried it, I know, love it. I think are going to come back for the larger ones this time. This is Total Cast Resin. You can see it says there on the label, clear artwork and casting resin. It's a 1 part to 1 part.
Yeah, it's dead easy.
Very easy. Very, very easy. But that allows you to manipulate it as well, and I've got some pieces ready to go to show you that. So also you can add your mediums over the top. Amazing. So I'm going to talk about this more when we demo with it, but we've also got on the show, I asked for Viva to come back. The modelling concrete is back on today as well because that works in the moulds. Again, that goes outside. So there's an incredible amount of different mediums.
Can I give some details then?
You can.
So first of all, I'm going to tell you the Ornate Gate is now limited stock. If you want that, it's limited stock. Less than 10% remaining. It is going to sell out. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We didn't have any bounce back from the castle. It's gone. I should imagine that's going to be exactly the same. Please check your baskets out. Let me run through the different mediums that our Kathryn's just told you about, just to refresh your memory. So, starting with the Hearty Clay, which Kathryn's going to demonstrate with. Now, this is a massive block of Hearty Clay. Obviously, air dry clay, so it's ridiculously easy to use. You'll be using it for all sorts. 400 grams in total, £17.99, 040721. Now the Medina clay. I haven't tried this. This is on my list. I want this. So this sounds really interesting. I've never used an air dry polymer because I used to work with polymer and I love polymer. Yeah. So this is your air dry clay, your air dry polymer. Only $11.99. And is that a pure white one then?
It says white, but it's not actually. It looks quite fleshy.
Right.
But okay. you can add colour to it. If you're adding colour to it, we tend to suggest using something like a gouache or an oil paint.
Right, right.
But I prefer to actually add over the top and just use it as it is. Yeah. Again, it's flexible, it's malleable, you can shape it. I've used this stuff on my garden pots in moulds and then done stone sort of detail over the top as well. And it is weatherproof.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. 641548. So you've got your clays. So you've also got different size as well. So this is the resin. Now, the resin. So this is the one that we have seen Kathryn use with the Zuri moulds time after time. Now, this is a smaller one. If you don't want to go for the huge one straight away, £27.50. 1 by 1 part, which makes it ridiculously easy. You've then got the bigger one. So obviously, if you're loving the effects of the resin, this is your 1 kilogram there. Again, £78.96. Of course, you've got your flexi there. 2 payments. 39.48, 290488, and then the fabulous concrete. Oh, I was having such good fun with concrete the other day. But this is your Viva, and I'd love to see this in the moulds. Only £9.99 is your price, and that's going to be dispatched from the 2nd of October, which is only a couple of weeks. Oh, it's only a couple of weeks. 286495. It is important to say the Zuri moulds, the brand new Zuri moulds, are going to be sent out in a week's time, but I can already tell you don't care. It's like, I don't care, I want it. So waste of time telling you that, but it's better you know. Right, enough of me. Kathryn, over to you.
Okay, right, so very quickly, with the air dry clay, take it from the pack. Now, I will admit, this is not a new pack of clay I've got. It's been in the back of my van for a while. It hasn't been sealed particularly well either, so it's gone quite rubbery.
I've got some crunchy bits in that.
Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but this is the consistency I like for the moulds, because I could get away without putting any corn flour in the mould, but from the start, when you get your clay or if you're opening a new pack, take it out, condition it. By conditioning, you stretch it, you'll feel the moisture is releasing in there, it will become more malleable. So even with this one that's quite dry, you can see that's becoming more stretchy now.
Yeah, yeah.
If it gets a little bit too dry, just take a water spritzer. I'm just going to go away from the moulds, because if I get this in my moulds, it will make it stick. Spritz on, and you can work that water into it, and that will revive it.
Fabulous.
Now, the only thing you can't do is when it's completely dry is revive it then.
Right,
okay? You won't get it back to the same state, so do keep it sealed. So you can see how more malleable that has become.
Yeah, already.
So because you've seen me do the moulds before, and I will be doing this in other shows, I've already put some into Pegasus here. So just a little bit of cleaning up to do. So I've put the clay in, use a rolling pin if you've got one. Really press down.
Now, with the rolling pin, does it matter? I mean, you've got an acrylic one there. Is that better?
The acrylic one is actually a Staedtler one. We had these on the shows last week. A white nylon one or acrylic one will be perfect. I would just avoid a wooden one.
Right.
You can get this kind of the children's wooden rolling pins. They have grain on them, so it leaves an imprint. On the back there, it wouldn't matter, but wood can stick a little bit more, so you're better with an acrylic or a nylon one.
Excellent.
Okay.
Cool.
So always we then just work around the edge with a fingertip just to neaten off. You can see how dry this is because I'm getting little rolls already. I think this is fairly neat already, but just make sure, just get my glasses on so I can see here, just make sure I can just see there, if I pull back, there's a little bit of detail I was covering up. I wasn't quite into the main of Pegasus there, or the wing there of Pegasus.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you really sort of scrape away any bits that shouldn't be there. If you miss anything, you can trim it away with scissors afterwards.
Cool.
But let's do a reveal.
Can I, while you're doing sauce?
Oh,
can I be a pain? Sorry. I'm just going to be really, really quick. I am so sorry. I know you haven't even seen one of them revealed yet. Okay, we've had a bit of a news flash. So, the Enchanted Castle dispatched from the 12th of October. We've got a few more, but only a few more. Please be quick. We have got people buying this from America. We've got people buying it for Europe. Thank you very much. Love the Savvy Company. I hope you're part of Hochanda Freedom. Then you're not paying any postage, folks. But yeah, it is going to go out on the 12th of October. A little bit of extra stock. Please check your baskets out. 937299. Your actual one-day special. How much of the stock has gone now? 70% of the stock has gone with your one-day special. It is exceptionally busy. 020631. I'm sorry, I will shut up again.
Oh dear. Right, okay, so time to flex. Now,
time to flex.
Time to flex. So what I'm going to do is this is quite dry already, so I'm just going to give this a little bit of a helping hand out. But obviously the moulds, you know, they're not going to split. You can flex them, you can bend them in half, you can do all those different things. Now, because my clay is a little bit dry, I have snapped the tail there, but not to worry about that. I'll show you how you can fix that. So I'm just going to get that out.
That's what I love about it. It's all right, isn't it? It's air dry clay. It's fine.
It's absolutely fine. Okay, so
even if you glue it on afterwards, it don't matter, does it?
Do you know what? That is, if I just wet that there and apply, where's my little pokey tool thing? I've got a dry paintbrush here. I've got a crunchy paintbrush, that will do. So I've put that back into position if you do break any bits off. Just watch those more vulnerable areas like that, but that simply came away because the clay is quite dry.
And would you say, with all the clays, the air dry is the one that picks up the least detail?
Do you know what? The detail is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it is.
But I would say compared to the resin,
it's
not as crisp.
And yet, look at it.
I
mean, if that's the one that picks up the least, that is absolutely...
It helps if you put his tail in the right place, doesn't it?
When it comes to pin the tail on the donkey,
Pegasus. That's how it goes, like that. I did. I stuck it.
And I couldn't even tell. That looks... It only afterwards, it's like, oh, his tail's dropped down. That's it. It's an accident. That is phenomenal.
Oh,
that's I mean, look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
So elegant.
But let me just point out a couple of things. Obviously, because I didn't spend as long as I normally do tidying. Can you see these little bits here? Just there, you can see one or two little fluffy bits. So I would just leave that to dry now and trim those off with a pair of scissors just to neaten that up. But ideally, I would spend a bit more time neatening that up in the mould. Okay,
that's stunning.
I am going to let that dry. We're going to use that in another demonstration if we've got stock at a later date. So I'm going to let that dry.
We've had a question about the Medina cake.
Okay.
A Madeira cake. How do you stick Madeira cake to your pots? That isn't the question. The question is the Medina clay. How would you stick it? I can hear Christine giggling.
If you want to put them outside, I would use a bondable product from a DIY store. You know, you usually get them in tubes. You can get things that stick stone, concrete, all those different things. You can pick them up so easily.
Like the silicone things.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some great glues here. We've got gel medium, that sort of thing. But when you're talking about weather, frost, sun, rain,
expanding.
Yeah, you want something that's meant for outside. So I would suggest go to your DIY store. A lot of these £1 shops often sell them as well, so do have a look out for them. Even supermarkets sometimes have them.
Fabulous. So literally just... And would you, because I know a lot of the time you mould it first and stick it to the pot and allow it to dry, is that what you do with the Medina, or would you need to...
You can do it either way, actually, with the Medina. I will try and get one done for tomorrow. I haven't got a piece with me at the moment, but... if you can flex it once it's already set, so you can do it that way.
That's amazing.
It depends how heavy-handed you are. I personally prefer to mould something when it's still in its raw state before it's fully cured. but you don't want to squash it. And sometimes, if you've got a good glue and you're sticking to something, it will hold. There are occasions, and I'm going to do it through the demonstrations for the one day special, where I cling wrap around things as well. So if something's not cured or dried, then you could squash the detail basically.
Yeah, of course.
So whichever you're comfortable with, but you can manipulate it once it's cured.
Amazing. Thank you for your questions. Keep questions emailed in livetellerstudio@hochanda.com. What's next?
Okay, right. I do hope Janice is not watching TV in the lounge.
It's okay, she's driving, I hope.
Good.
Oh no, she's
still here, isn't she?
Yeah, I hope she's not driving. If she's driving, I've got a rubbish evening.
We are going to use the resin, and we are going to use the spider mould.
Ooh.
Okay, so from the one day special. I have got one that's already set, so to speak. I was up early this morning pouring resin into moulds simply because I wanted them in a certain stage, at a certain stage for demoulding.
Right, okay.
Sylvia, thank you so much for the gloves.
No, thank you. You sent me some too.
Sylvia's been watching us both with oversized gloves on, trying to work with concrete and things, and it wasn't a good look, was it?
No, I were having to wring out my fingers.
I had the same pair the week before. Well, not literally the same pair, but the same.
We have to share our gloves.
Oh dear. Right, okay. So we are going to work with the resin. And I am going to work with that mould that I've just mentioned, and I've got some that are already drying as well, and I've got a couple of little tricks to show you.
Cool.
So I've got my scales here. We don't sell these on Hochanda. I found these online. These are absolutely brilliant. These are silicone measuring cups, and it means that you can just clean them out so easily. No plastic.
Like
yeah,
I think that is absolutely genius.
They are fantastic. Now, the only thing about them is they have got little measuring marks on, which you can't see very well. So I tend to mark mine.
Genius.
So I'm just going to mark at 40, which is there, and also 80, which is there. And they're going to be my measuring marks. You can do it by weight. So I have got my scales as well, so I didn't really need to do that, but just because I did.
Yeah.
Right, okay. When it comes to the resin, I always put the resin in first, which has a white lid. Top tip is don't open both bottles at once, because if you get the lids mixed up, then you might set the lid on the wrong bottle.
Yeah.
They won't dry, they won't go hard without being mixed together, but of course putting the wrong lid on, you could find that it's not a good idea. So I'm just measuring up to that line. Let's see what the scales say as well. So the scales are telling me, oh, I've just gone over now. Oh, actually, no, 75 milligrams, it says, 76 now. But that's fine, because I've got my little marks on my cup as well. Then I'm going to go in with the hardener, and it's 1 part one, 1 part the other.
Oh, Sylvia's emailed in saying she'll send us more gloves. Sylvia, you're so lovely. Oh. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going up to the mark. What did I say? 76. That's
76.
152, isn't it?
Well done, I don't know. Yes.
Do you know, I'm going to go by the scales and not by my marks on the cup here.
Yeah. I must admit,
actually, no, I'm not, because do you know what I didn't do? I just realised I didn't reset the scale, so I'm weighing the jug, so I am going with the marks. So I've got 1 part of one, 1 part of the other. That's a good tip as well. If you're using scales, make sure when you sit your cup on there that you reset to 0, because the cup weighs something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then you really need to give it a stir. I love the silicone things, because literally you can just clean that out, can't you, again and again?
Totally. So I'm giving it a good stir. Now, I would recommend, usually I would give this a really good stir for 2 to 3 minutes. If you can give it 3 minutes, give it 3 minutes. You will find that bubbles appear. That's normal. It kind of looks like a fizzy, I don't know, a Carver or a Prosecco or something, but do not drink it, obviously.
Good gosh, no.
But you will get bubbles in there. Now, you don't need to prep your mould in any way prior to pouring, apart from make sure your moulds are very, very clean. If you've been using other things in there, make sure you've washed them out. Obviously, if you're using food, have a separate set for your food as well. But you don't need to prep. Now, I know you had some mould release on last week.
And that said it would really good for conditioning your moulds as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite nice, because it said, you know, obviously, eventually, if you're using pouring resin, it can make your moulds a little, I mean, we're talking about over time, it might make them a little bit brittle. So yeah, using conditioner is really good for your moulds as well, and can increase your moulds for up to 200 pores, I read online.
Amazing.
So it's worth looking that up. Yeah.
So I've not been using any release agent, but if you've already bought it and you're using it with your moulds, there's nothing to stop you using it. It will help, but it's not a necessity.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I've probably not given that 3 minutes, but just because of the purpose of demonstration, I am going to use it, and it should set anyway. So because I've got thin legs on the fly and the spider, I am going to pour quite slowly here, and the trick that I find is not to put too much all in one go. Don't overfill the body, and then allow things to move around a little bit. This is when we test.
It does sort of do it, doesn't it? It kind of starts almost like it sort of self-levels, but also starts filling in the gaps, doesn't it itself? That's it.
It is self-leveling, so if your table isn't level, then it won't level in the mould. So make sure that you're nice and level with your table. If you're not, try putting foam pads or some sort of sticky stuff under your mat to level it out.
Look at that. See, now that's why they're so good. Look at that. You can get a really thin pour.
Exactly. So what I'm doing now, I'm just very, very clear. And another way you could do it actually is just to take your stick or your spoon, you do get a stirring stick, and drizzle it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if any does go onto the mould itself, the top of the mould, do not panic. It doesn't matter. I'll show you one in a minute. I'm going to demould one, and I'll show you how messy the mould looks, but it comes out really clean. Yeah. So I'm just drizzling into those legs. Now, you will get air bubbles. You can see bubbles in there. We're going to remove some of them. I don't actually mind 1 or 2 air bubbles in, especially if I'm going to add mediums over the top, because you're never going to see them. Yeah. But, you know, don't get too hung up about it all. So I'm just drizzling in there.
That's the thing. I mean, some of the big air bubbles, it's good to pop, but most of the time they won't be on the detail anyway, will they?
No. You've so much detail in these moulds. There are areas that would automatically trap air. So unless you went and popped every single one or spent ages heating, you know, you probably will have some remaining, but you're not going to have a lot. I've mixed so much resin here, there's no way I'm going to waste this. I mixed the other day, I put 50 of the resin in, 50 of the hardener, and I did all of the moulds that we've got on today's show in the new moulds, not the existing ones, the new moulds, and 2 of the dragonflies as well.
Good grief, that's
all with
amazing.
100 millilitres
so that resin
of each.
Is going to last, and it's a really nice quality resin. If you do want that resin, remember you can get hold of that. We're going to give you the details of the big resin, because that one is the one that's really popular. In fact, shall I read the details out for you? So it's there we go, it's working, 290488. Remember, you are getting a kilogram of each of those. So yeah, that is going to last you. When you think about how far this goes, £78.96, 2 payments, £39.48. 290488 is your item number. And I must admit, I love resin because it's the detail. I mean, it's phenomenal.
It's amazing. And what I love about this, because it's 1 part and 1 part, it is a little bit softer, it's more malleable. So I like to shape, as everybody knows, around jars, vases, pots, boxes, different shapes, and you can do that with this. Now, I've just finished pouring there, so what I'm going to do now, I am going to take my heat gun, because there are lots of bubbles. Hopefully you can pick these up on the camera. You can see there's quite a lot of bubbles in the centre of the bodies there. Now, I can see 1 or 2 are popping, but if I add a little bit of heat, we should see the majority of those that are on the surface just clear away. So let's it also helps push around the resin a little bit as well. Yeah. So if you're not quite into the antennae and the legs, that will help.
And can you see how that's clearing? Setting, isn't it?
I do it on both, but because I've got the wow heat gun, on the high it does tend to blow the resin a little bit more. Yeah. So if you've really filled to the top, then you know you can send it splashing over the edge a little bit. So just take it steady. I can actually see, I don't know if you can, I can see bubbles popping constantly here. It's gone much clearer in the centre, and I can see in the legs there are bubbles that are popping.
Yeah.
Now, one little tip I will give you, when it comes to the mould like this one, where you've got those thin legs, I did have a piece of wire, but I've no idea where it's gone. I used just a piece of wire, and I just went into the end of each of the legs and the antennae to make sure that there wasn't an air bubble that I was missing. Yeah. Because if you don't get them there when you demould, you'll find that, you know, there is a little bit missing.
So that can be where your issues are.
So I'm just making sure that looks pretty good to me. It looks as though it's full. It looks nice and clear. I've not got loads of bubbles in there now. So that can now go to one side. I'm going to be careful because I want to use these later.
Amazing. How long will that take to set
approximately?
Well,
these are the ones that I poured earlier today. So these have been in the mould about 8 hours now.
Right.
Okay. So I haven't demolded so far. You can see where I've gone over the top of the mould, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Let's demold now. Now I haven't done this before. You can see I've not cheated because can you see how that's now going white?
Yeah, yeah.
The reason that's going white is because these moulds have got a matte finish.
Yeah.
They look lovely and crystal clear on the back, but as I demold, you will see something a little bit different. You'll see that they have a frosty look.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, there's a little bit of an overspill there, but that can actually just pull away or snip away.
And this is it. When you get them out, you've still got that flexibility to break off the excess easy, haven't you?
Now, one thing I forgot.
So cool.
There's one thing I've forgotten to bring. Oh, actually, I've got something here I can show you. I'm going to bring in. This has just got some black gesso on it, so you can see that that is frosty.
Yeah.
But you can also see how malleable this is as well. Okay.
And this is resin.
This is resin. That is because it's not fully cured.
Right.
So at this stage, I like to demold. And then if I just grab one of my little trifle pots, what I like to do is then sort of work, do you know, we have this one crawling out, I think, so the legs can be kind of positioned.
That is a cool one to shape, isn't it?
So you can
the jewellery
shape.
pieces you can make with that.
I know. So allow that, oh wow, Janice isn't around. Allow that to set in the pot. If I just hold this up to the camera, you can see I've got its legs curled.
Oh, yeah,
So shape it around something and allow it to fully cure like that.
And then when that's cured, that is going to be solid, isn't it?
It is. Now
That's well cool.
I've got another one somewhere. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, there it is. I've got the fly done as well. These are also the resin. I'm going to come back to that one in a second. These are also resin, but I put black gesso on these so I can add some Viva decor.
Amazing.
These have been setting longer. So, you know, they're still malleable, they're still not fully cured, but it is much firmer than the one that I've just demolded.
So do you think, so to fully cure, will it be more, slightly more than 24 hours?
24 to 72 hours, I would say.
Yeah.
To fully cure, but you can demold in between 6 and 8 hours.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Another thing you can do, if you find that things have gone a little bit too hard, heat them up.
Right, okay.
So this one is much firmer because it was done the day before.
Yeah.
So if you leave them in a conservatory on a hot day or in your caravan or your crafter van like I did, the sun gets to it and you can shape it again. So can you see how much more malleable that is?
Amazing.
So I could then shape that one as well and have that sort of peering out of the cup or on a jar as well.
Yeah.
And I can shape it. But ideally, do it when it's at your 6 to your 8 hours because it's, you know, it's much safer to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come back to the black one and the fly a little bit later, but what I am going to show you as well, have we still got the castle? Have we still got some back in stock?
Okay. 60% of that back in stock has gone. Okay, can I give quick updates?
You can,
actually?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Okay, I will get back to our Kathryn really quickly, I promise, because I know you're watching like I am. Okay, your one day special, over 3/4 of the stock has gone. This is absolutely flying. You have got that incredible Pegasus. I mean, what a beautiful mould. The moulds are, I love these moulds. I think they just look gorgeous. They look really good quality. I love the fact that they give you that that frosty look, because quite frankly, I want to paint them and get that detail. If they're absolutely clear, then you can't see the detail. So for me, that is an absolute bonus. That is beautiful. The next one that you've got is, well, I only watch your elbows, is the fantastic Seahorses. Seahorses are just incredible creatures, aren't they? You know, when you see seahorses, you still can't quite believe they're real. And you've got the 2 baby ones, so which are seriously detailed. And of course, you have got that wonderful spider. I mean, the jewellery pieces you are going to be able to make with that. That is absolutely phenomenal. And of course, you've got the incredible bee. Love these. Okay, so have a little look at what you can do. You can create the most beautiful, look at that, you can create the most beautiful, beautiful pieces. They are seriously, look at that. That's magical, isn't it? It's absolutely magical. Let me show you that seahorse. I'll pop that down because I don't want to break anything. Look at the seahorse. Look, look, look. Again, magical. Oh, look. And the amount of painting, isn't it beautiful? Stunning, absolutely stunning. Okay, if you do want your one-day special, 80% of stock has gone. What you're going to use yours for? Is it going to be jewellery? Are you going to be using these for your mixed media projects? Maybe for cards? Obviously, with something like this, you can make some incredible 3D projects, and that price, saving £10 today, only today, £24.99. Same again next month. You know exactly what you're paying. If you're part of Hochanda Freedom, you don't even pay postage. 020631. Now, very quickly, that castle. Okay. This did sell out in 5 minutes. We have managed to get a little bit of stock. It's going to be sent out from the 12th of October, but you're going to have to be really quick because already over 60% of stock has gone. I mean, this is beautiful. It's when I look at that, it's either a very magical fairy tale castle, or it's a really spooky castle, or of course it's a fantastic, you know, I don't know, one of those, obviously fairy tale, but you know, with the dragons, etc., the goblins or the wizards. I mean, there's so much that this represents. It is a detail, and this is what I mean about, look at that. I mean, look at the depth of it. That is so 3D. You've got so many layers on that. Look at the moon. I mean, it really sits on top of the moon. The dragons, I mean, you hardly even think about the dragons, but you're getting them in there as well. Isn't that beautiful? If you sell your crafts and you can sell the pieces that you make using the Zuri moulds, imagine making pieces like this that you are then selling. Isn't that just, you absolutely would be selling pieces with these on. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, for your cakes. I mean, these are food grade. I mean, just imagine that just in chocolate. Now, it almost seems a shame, doesn't it, to eat it, though. 937299, that's your item number. Tell you what, though, things like that in chocolate, you know, like for people who are really difficult to buy for, I mean, you can just imagine buying for, you know, like my stepdad, a lovely, you know, I mean, not quite as specific as that maybe, but just in chocolate with some of the, you know, the edible micron or something like that. You know, it's such a good gift and really easy to do. Okay, now the gates, these also sold out. We've now got these going out on the 12th of October, but again, they're not limited already, are they? No, it's okay, it's okay. But again, yeah, these are magical. What are they going to be for you? Are you going to keep it in one? Or are you going to take off the detail on the top and just have that beautiful sort of ornate gate? Or are you just going to use the gates? Are you going to take the gates out and just have this amazing arch? I mean, as Kathryn said, there's so many elements to this and they are absolutely gorgeous. And if you have got that castle, I mean, look how well they go. That is phenomenal, isn't it? Can you imagine again the things that you can make with that? I mean, you could make a really cool and quite spooky advent calendar with that. I mean, yeah, no, wouldn't it be good? Like the alternative advent calendar. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. £19.99. Again, seriously magical, these. 098616 is your item number. See, the moulds just look decorative, don't they? I love the colour of the moulds. I think that's, yeah, it makes them look really expensive. Yeah, yeah. It just makes them look quality. If you do want to get hold of, well, they are quality, high food grade, remember, 098616. Do remember that wonderful dragonfly, we have got that available for you. And some of the other moulds that you have seen in the past. Look at the website, hochanda.com. That's where you'll see the moulds. Maybe ones you haven't seen before. Maybe you've missed yours. There's so many beautiful, beautiful designs. And again, the detail is phenomenal. And of course, it is our Flextravaganza, which means if you are spending over £5, you're already opening up a Flexi basket. Look at all those 5-star reviews. Of course they have. Thank you for leaving reviews and thank you for taking the time to do that. Okay, if you've got any questions, we have had loads of emails with photographs. Our Kate has been so busy we haven't been able to do anything with them there, but we will try and get those photos shown at 8 o'clock. But we have had a question from Mo. Hiya Mo. She said, she says, are all resins bendy or is it just the Alican?
I should imagine there's different grades and there's different. Some are 1 part of resin, 2 parts hardener. You know, so you get different ratios. If resin isn't fully cured, it's going to be malleable.
Yeah.
But how easy others are to get out of the mould, they may still be a little bit sticky. So I can't really speak for other brands because you know, you've just got to try them. And there are different ratios for mixing. This particular resin is an art resin, so you will often find this is used not just for pouring, but making jewellery, also for painting over fine art and canvases and things as well, to seal the top, so you can literally brush it on.
Beautifully clear.
You can brush it on really, really thinly.
Yeah.
So it's not just for moulds, obviously it's not just for pouring.
Yeah, so a multi-use resin. Thank you for your questions. Keep them coming in, studio@hochanda.com. Okay.
Just adding on to that, because the A1 resin, which is the water-based one, which I absolutely adore, the detail that picks up is incredible. You cannot bend that one. That you would need to keep flat backed. Yeah, we've got the wolf there, white fangs, that's been created in A1 resin. We have got a show on the 5th of October that's dedicated to A1. I absolutely love that resin, but that is the one thing with it, you will not be able to shape that. It will stay flat.
Right.
Okay.
That is amazing.
But look at the detail that's picked up.
And it feels good.
It's amazing.
That
and again,
feels
waterproof,
solid.
weatherproof. You can put that outside as well.
Stunning. I love that mould.
Right.
Beautiful.
Okay, so with the spider that we demoulded, we've also got a fly. Now, I did this earlier this morning, as I say, so I've not demoulded. I've also got a dragonfly here as well. And of course, I've just demoulded the spider that you can see is still very bendy, but I've got lots of bits and pieces around here that have been set in longer. So I'm just going to take out this. This has got alcohol inks in it. So again, it's very bendy because I only poured it this morning, so I can still shape this one as well. If I want to lift the wings, put it somewhere, you know, bend the legs, I can do that as well. But you can see there the alcohol inks. Now I'm just going to demould.
The alcohol inks look well.
I know.
Because you've still got the translucency as well, haven't you?
Yeah, you have, but I'm going to try and bring this out. Now, I haven't done this yet, this show. There's a little bit of tidying up on this one where I've gone over the top, but you can see, if you're very quick with it, when you demould, all the resin that's just on the surface will just rub away because it's a silicone mould. It just comes away. So make sure you clean those up before you reuse them. I will do that in between the break. But what I've also got, I'm going to bring in, oh, this is one for Katie again. Look, we've got one of the horses here. I've forgotten the names of this, Arion and Boreas. And you can see there again, if I bring in the gessoed board, you can see it's got that frosty effect because it's a matte mould. But while my resin is still runny, because you've still got working time on that, I've shown this before. We've shown it with silicone oil in the mould, but we sold out of that the first time we brought it. We haven't got it back on this one because we haven't got pentart on. I did show how to brush on, but then you have to find a really good solvent cleaner to clean your brushes. And then I had a brainwave this morning. While I've got my gloves on, this is all thanks to Sylvia to send me gloves, just using a little bit of the resin that you've mixed. What's happening there? Can you see?
Because the resin gives you that beautiful glaze, doesn't it?
It does. So all you need to do, because you don't want to put this on thickly, because you will fill in the detail and you don't want to lose the detail. So just rubbing over with a fingertip, and I've got the tiniest bit of resin on there, you can see how that is now starting to go clear. So if you put lights behind it, you know, if you want to put lights behind, put these on jars. I personally like the frosted look because I just think, especially if you're going onto a clear vase or jar, it looks amazing. But also, if you are going to paint with another medium, you've got a key to work to, because it's not as flat, it's not as shiny and smooth. So you've got a key to work to.
I'd have thought normally clear resin would be like, you know, stuff that you embed things in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that does look absolutely beautiful.
It does. So if I've got two of these, so if I bring that, obviously that's got sticky resin on it now, but you can see the difference between those. And actually, if I just touch with my my glove there. Can you see how it's already clearing that? And it will stay clear. It won't go dull again.
You could almost dry brush it on, couldn't you?
That was the other thing I was going to say. What you could do, if you want to use a brush and you can find a cleaner that's going to get the resin off, great. But also, just the tiniest bit of resin again. And you must do this with gloved hands because it's so sticky. But if you just go over the top and just skim over the top, like you would when you use card that's been embossed, where you pick up the detail, you can have that kind of mixed look. Yeah. So you've got the frostiness, but you've also got the clear as well. So you can do that as well and change the effect. But what I wanted to try, now this has got, now, let me just show you something. Because I did this, because I planned on painting it, I didn't even use the heat gun on this one.
Oh, you can
so
really
can you
see the bubbles.
The bubbles? I actually quite like that.
I do.
But that one I did use the heat gun on it.
How interesting. You can really see the difference.
But that's given that texture, hasn't it? I quite like that.
Well, cool.
But I probably will paint over these afterwards. And you can put your alcohol inks in there. You've got your metallics as well. Now, because the fly, I poured this earlier with the alcohol. Let's just give this a little bit of a rub over with the resin and see what happens to the colour. It's very bendy.
Amazing.
Because...
So, if you put the resin over, you'd obviously let it dry again, so it'd give you that clear, and then you could still go over, say, with a gilding wax or something to make the detail
That's
pop.
exactly what I will do with this one. I will let this dry. I probably won't be able to do this tonight. I'll probably have to wait until tomorrow. But can you see the glaze that's on there? If I put that next to the dragonfly, you can see how dull that one is. Let's do the dragonfly as well. I know we haven't got much time left. And I did pour the Seahorses as well from the one day special. They've got all sorts of colours in them. So I may, if I've got time, just
and that's just a little bit of alcohol ink in with the resin.
Just alcohol ink, yeah.
Yeah, that
we'll do that tomorrow. We'll drop some in. Just a quick hint about the Seahorses. It's a big, big mould. Let me just take this one out. This is going to look very dull because again, it's very soft. I only poured it this morning.
Oh.
Okay.
There is
looks like I've had a bit of clay or something in my mould there as well. But let's just go over the top with a little bit of the resin again here. But what I wanted to point out was your baby seahorse at the bottom is actually joined. There's two little bits that attach it. So if you don't want them joined, they are so fine, you can literally just snip these away. So while the resin is nice and soft, I can actually take that away. So if you want to reposition that, you can. Now the larger seahorse and the medium one are joined. They're joined where, I want to call it a beak. I know it's not a bird, but I want to call it a beak. But you could just put clay into this area. We'll do this tomorrow as well. And just take that one seahorse out. If you wanted to put in for this one, you are going to get that little line where the nose is. But there are ways you can disguise that or... manipulate
You'd have to
it
do
and
a
change
bit of craftiness.
Yeah, which I do love to do.
Yeah.
So just have a play. Now with the alcohol inks I put in this one, I did put white in with the colours, so it's changed everything. Yeah, so I haven't got the brightness that I've got with the fly. I was just trying different things and... Can you see the tail there? It looks like a jelly sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. The other one that the fly did, it looked like, and that's what you were saying before, weren't it? Like for Halloween, making jelly sweets out of flies and spiders.
Isn't that lovely though?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if that's catching.
An amazing brooch, amazing pins.
They would. Now, if you do want these to go onto jars, at this point, I would say don't put resin on at this point. Do it once it's stuck down.
Wow, look at that.
Place that onto your jar, and while it's malleable, wrap some cling wrap around that so it's kept perfectly to shape, and as that cures properly, that's going to sit perfectly.
See, now the horse would look amazing.
It would.
What would the clear horse look amazing? Because I've never really got my head around the clear ones, but
we have got some little lights. At 8 o'clock, we'll find some lights, and we will. This one's gone quite hard because I did it the day before, but I could soften that up again. I don't know if I've got another one. Yes, the air dry clay one we can.
Or what about the little clear horse?
They're older ones. They're harder.
Old.
The air dry clay. I'll try not to lose the tail again and stick that on afterwards. So the air dry clay. This is still malleable as well. So you could, again, manipulate that around there, glue that down. Now, what I love about this one, I have lost that tail. You can 3D the wings as well. So I'll probably work on this more at 8 o'clock and add some extra wings and make that more dimensional. I'm trying not to stick anything permanently onto this jar yet because I've got a plan for it.
That's beautiful.
But yeah.
Oh, Kathryn, so many ideas.
So much fun. And we've not even used Viva Decor.
Oh, we've got more to do.
We'll have to do that. I need to find that tail off the horse.
Okay, yeah, I don't think you've stood on it. Right, loads more to come up at 8 o'clock, but it is very, 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 very busy. Already, how much did you say, Katie? Over 80% of your one-day special. This literally launched this evening. It is absolutely incredible. The detail is beautiful. For anybody thinking about these, don't miss out. I mean, if you want to create beautiful pieces easily, I mean, that's the lovely thing about this. You know, I must admit, I adore resin, but your air dry clay, you know, just experiment, just practice. The painting techniques, easiest painting techniques, I mean, doesn't that look magical? All you need to do is please check those baskets out, but tune in again at 8 o'clock. Oh, I'm right looking forward to that, Kathryn. I love these shows. It's great being a presenter. I love it.
I know, it is. It is nice to switch around a bit, isn't it?
I love wearing this hat. Please make sure you check your baskets out and obviously join me and Kathryn at 8 o'clock. Thank you ever so much, Kathryn. Loved it.
Thank you.
Okay, stay tuned. We've got loads more coming up. See you in a bit.